Committee study of the Central Intelligence Agency Detention and Interrogation Program is a report compiled by the bipartisan United States Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, the SSCI, about the Central Intelligence Agency's Detention and Interrogation Program and its use of torture during interrogation in U.S. government bulletins on detainees in CIA custody. The more than 6,700-page report, including 38,000 footnotes, details the history of the CIA's Detention and Interrogation Program and the committee's 20 findings and conclusions. On December 9, 2014, the SSCI released a 525-page portion that consisted of key findings and an executive summary of the full report. It took more than 5 years to complete. The full unredacted report remains classified. Today's summary: full committee's first brief on the CIA's interrogation program hours before it is publicly known. On September 6, 2006, President Bush publicly acknowledged the CIA program and the transfer of 14 CIA detainees to U.S. military custody at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Hours prior to the announcement, CIA Director Michael Hayden provided the first briefing on the CIA's enhanced interrogation program for all members of the committee, although the CIA limited staff or attendance to the committee's 2 staff directors. Due to the impending public acknowledgement of the program, the briefing was abbreviated. At the briefing, CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques were listed but not described. Director Hayden stated that the techniques were developed at the Department of Defense SEER School and were used against American service personnel during their training. He testified that once a detainee gets into the situation of sustained cooperation, debriefings are not significantly different than what you and I are doing right now. Hayden sought legislative assistance in interpreting Common Article 3, stating that he had not asked for an opinion from the Department of Justice and represented that he had been informed informally that 7 interrogation techniques are viewed by the Department of Justice to be consistent with the requirements of the Detainee Treatment Act. Director Hayden declined to identify the location of the CIA detention facility to the members and stated that he personally had recommended not explaining committee staff access beyond the 2 staff directors already briefed on the CIA's detention and interrogation program. There were no other committee briefings or hearings on the CIA's detention and interrogation program prior to the Senate's September 28, 2006 vote on the Military Commissions Act. As described, the Department of Justice later concluded that the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques were consistent with the Military Commissions Act, in part because, according to the CIA, none of the members briefed on the CIA program expressed the view that the CIA interrogation program could be stopped or that the techniques at issue were inappropriate. However, prior to the vote, Senator John McCain, who had been briefed on the CIA program, told CIA officials that he could not support the program and that sleep deprivation, one of the interrogation techniques still included in the program, as well as waterboarding, were torture. Members of the committee also expressed their views in classified letters to the CIA. Senator Dianne Feinstein informed the CIA that Hayden's testimony on the CIA program was extraordinarily problematic, that she was unable to understand why the CIA needs to maintain this program. In May of 2007, shortly after additional committee staff gained access to the program, Senator Russ Feingold expressed his opposition to the program, while Senators Feinstein, Ron Wyden, and Chuck Hagel described their concerns about the CIA program and their sleep discomfort with the use of the CIA's enhanced interrogation technique. November 16, 2006, CIA Director Hayden briefed the committee. The briefing included inaccurate information, including on the CIA's use of dietary manipulation and nudity, as well as the effort of sleep deprivation. Before speaking about the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques, however, Director Hayden asked to brief the committee on the recent capture of the CIA's newest detainee, Abdul Hadi Ali Rock, who was not subjected to the CIA's enhanced interrogation technique. Vice Chairman Rockefeller and two other members of the committee expressed frustration at briefing at Director Hayden's description of Hadi Ali Raki's capture, preventing what was expected to be an in-depth discussion of the CIA's enhanced interrogation technique. February 14, 2007, during a hearing on CIA rendition, Director Hayden provided inaccurate information to the committee to include inaccurate information on the number of detainees held by the CIA. Deputy Chief of the Department in the Counterterrorism Center and the previous Deputy Chief of Allen Station provided examples of information obtained from the CIA's Detention and Interrogation Program. After providing the example, redacted, closed the testimony with the statement that there's no question in my mind that having the detainee information had saved hundreds, conservatively speaking, of American lives. On March 15, 2007, in his speech to a gathering of ambassadors to the United States from the countries of the European Union, Director Hayden stated that congressional support for the CIA's Detention and Interrogation Program assured the continuity of the program. Quote, I mentioned earlier that it would be unwise to assume that there will be a dramatic change in the American approach to the war on terror in 2009. CIA got the legislation it needed to continue this program in the Military Commissions Act passed by a Congress last fall. Let me remind you that every member of the Intelligence Committee, House and Senate, Republican and Democrat, is now fully briefed on the Detention and Interrogation Program. This is not CIA's program. This is not the president's program. This is America's program. End quote.